Video game launchers are something that are now seen as commonplace, and for good reason. It was only inevitable that somebody made a place where you can have access to all of your games in one easy and organizable space. Steam, for example, started life in 2003 as just a way for Valve to give out automatic updates to their games, but eventually it grew larger than that. Steam is now the PC game launcher, an easy to navigate store with deals and new games on the daily, a thriving community that houses communities for almost any game you can think of, reviews, highly customizable profiles, achievements, tech support guides, broadcasts, and even group chats. It's really no surprise that Steam is making billions. However, because of the success, it's also no wonder that other people would want a piece of that pie. The issue with this is that all of these other platforms kinda blow. I'm going to talk about these ones on screen now, honestly only because these are the most fun to complain about. I am aware there are many more launchers and some of them are actually pretty cool and have their own niche, but the launchers I'm talking about are arguably more well known and make for good rant material. Now, Steam being as big as it is can create clear issues, and competition is something that should be encouraged, but only when the competition is actually good. Epic Games, currently Steam's largest competition, is alright at best, and at its worst is almost unbearable. Besides being the Fortnite launcher, or the, oh, I should check if there's a free game this month launcher, I rarely ever actually open up Epic. Not for the lack of games, there's an abundance of those, and with better rates for developers than Steam, there's clearly a reason games are put on the Epic Store. But with Steam being as big as it is, a lot of those games are either available on Steam as well, or will be available on Steam as well. Top this with a slow UI, missing features, and notifications like this being on by default make for a poor user experience. What's surprising though is that this is the best the competition has to offer. From this point, it's pretty much downhill. Speaking of downhill, Origin is so far down the hill it might as well be a cliff. Origin, originally released in 2011, is honestly a joke. EA's largest scam, full stop, was convincing anyone that this pile of shit was in any way meant to be competition with these two, let alone Steam. There are third-party games in the store, if you can manage to navigate through it and find them. Features are abundant, features that work are not. Sending a friend request through Origin is about as effective as a message in a bottle, and calling someone on Origin is an actual joke. It looks bad, it lags horrendously, and the only reason it's even installed on my computer is because I'm forced to use it if I want to access any EA titles. Because even if they are available on Steam, I am still forced to download Origin to play them. Origin's experience, quote unquote, is hard to top. So I'm honestly impressed that Ubisoft Connect manages to do this. Take everything I just said about Origin, remove third-party games, and now make the games you do have on the platform just not work. Oh, and also take this experience and make it 10 times worse. And then take that experience and make it even worse, and then you have the Uplay experience. At least with Origin, features sometimes work. But I have yet to boot up and have a flawless experience in a single session with Uplay. The games themselves barely even work, which honestly almost surprises me. The actual gameplay of Uno is trying to get everyone into a game without issue. It looks bad, it lags, chatting is a joke, the Discover tab lets me discover 2 things, and the fact that I'm forced to put this on my computer just to play fucking Uno is an insult. Honestly, I can't even be too mad at Battle.net. It looks fine, features run poorly, but work most of the time, which is more than I can say about Origin or Uplay. There's only a handful of games, all of which I'd rather just have on Steam, but I can imagine that someone in the world has downloaded only the Blizzard launcher and plays it. Or even have just downloaded only Epic, or only Origin, or only Uplay even. The person who has downloaded only Uplay needs a therapist. God. What I can't imagine is someone who only uses the Rockstar launcher, with no other features, a laggy user interface, and store that only has 9 total games. I can't see any reason this launcher even exists. Games launched fine beforehand, but now you absolutely have to have the Rockstar launcher if you want to launch them. It only complicates the process of what once was just a simple click. You can't even change your social club profile settings in the launcher. It's a completely useless piece of fucking software that takes up 206 megabytes on my computer for absolutely no reason. Now, don't get me confused. Competition is still a really good thing. Steam definitely has its issues, and competition should be encouraged. Now, with that said, are some of these launchers really as bad as I make them out to be? Yes.